What's good? What's good? What's good, fam? Linda Gamble, Grand Rising Beautiful, the hardest working Empress moderator on this side of YouTube. Okay? Thank you for falling through. I love you. It's so good to see you every time. So good to see your energy just makes my heart flutter. You know, when somebody makes you feel good, you just their energy, their spirit, their aura is just so positive for you. Your heart just start jumping like that's my home girl in a bag of pearls right there. Okay, and I'm not just saying that. That's true. I'm an energy person. You know, I'm here. I'm back again. I hope everybody's blessed, feeling good on this here day. It's a little bit cloudy and overcast over here on the coast in the Kakalaka sticks, but I'm back. Okay, it is 11:44 a.m. Eastern Standard Time over here with these clear folks losing their mind collectively, but we gonna get to that later. Don't forget to hit the like button, share, subscribe. We talking about letting go, soul ties, evolution, growth, letting go to grow. Just because you love somebody or you have love for somebody doesn't mean that you have to hold on to that person. We see it plain and clear on these here reality streets. You can't hold just because they can dress up. Don't mean they can attend the party, okay? Just because they wear that nice suit or dress or put on their best mask. That don't mean they can attend the party and sit at the table. And this is not about any particular cast member or reality show or anything. This is just in general channeling that came to me as I was decompressing from the latest live I did about these meddling, double standard having heifers that we all are familiar with on and off the screen. And I bumped into some pretty fly information while I was channeling, because I do a lot of journaling too when I get messages, and sometimes it triggers me from things that I have healed from or I'm still healing from. But I'm here just to reinforce and reassure. Just because you love somebody and you have a love tie with someone, that doesn't mean you should not let them go if they are hindering you. That should be the quickest thing. The first thing that we do is cut the cord. Snip. Get some sharp spiritual sizzles and cut it. I had to learn that the hard way over my life. And the hardest, most difficult release I had to do was my mother. And looking back and reflecting on a lot of that, remothering myself over the years, I really am floored at how difficult it was to let her go, to have to cut her off. It's very painful. You know, sometimes you second guess having to cut something. You like, let me just go back and give them another chance. And we wind up disappointed all over again and heartbroken, having to start all over. And it is just really not worth it. That's why I have such a problem understanding some of these reality show cast members and why they just continue to recycle the same old thing over and over again, doing deeper and deeper spiritual and emotional damage to themselves, and expecting other people to receive it well and not take a sidestep and distance themselves from such toxic patterns and cycles. I just never will understand that about a lot of people. But once you begin to evolve and you release said dead weight spiritually, it makes more sense. And I like what I ran across earlier today with this, because it makes a whole lot of sense. Now, you feel how you feel about this brother, but he makes a whole lot of sense.
You, but I don't like what you do. Hindering me from going where I need to go. So I need to release you with love from all spiritual agreements, all spiritual contracts, all soul ties, and all energies that no longer serve my higher self. But I love you, but we go no further, because just having that attachment is keeping me from being what I'm supposed to be.
We need USAA for homeowners who...
Doesn't that make a lot of sense?
I love you, but I don't like what you do. And you're hindering me from going where I need to go. So I need to release you with love from all spiritual agreements, all spiritual contracts, all soul ties, and all energies that no longer serve my higher self. But I love you, but we go no further, because just having that attachment is keeping me from being what I'm supposed to be.
When you have a purpose,
USAA for...
when you have a purpose that's designed for you and only you, certain people just can't tag along. You know, being in bondage with someone who can't let go of their karmic cycles, it's exhausting. It's exhausting, yo. So just because you love someone doesn't mean you have to hold on to them for the entire ride. It's okay to let go. It's okay to chase your dreams. It's okay to reach for evolution. It's okay to not be toxic. It's okay to heal, is all I'm saying. It's okay not to chime in just to fit in so that you don't stand out and be singled out because you choose to be different. It's hard being different. It's difficult going against the grain of what's the norm of what we see in our Black community as, you know, acceptable, or as what the standard of Black folks are. You know, it's stereotypical rhetoric. And those of us who believe in evolution and healing, we sick of that shit. I'm just gonna put it plain. It's okay to let go of bad habits, old, antiquated mindset. It's okay to let go of that. It's okay to evolve beyond ignorance. It's okay to evolve beyond hiding behind others because you're afraid to stand up for what's righteous versus what's popular. Now, I found another interesting confirmation, you know, and we all know and love Denzel. His motivational stuff is amazing. And if you like the content or whatever, you like the channel, you like my energy or whatever, there's my Cash App right there. This is not a hot topic from the streets of reality. This is some spiritual that I channeled in through watching these little pieces on here, just to encourage someone who might be second guessing their choice to get rid of some spiritual dead weight, to get rid of that toxic person or people in their cipher that is deliberately holding them back because they don't want to be left behind. I never in a million years thought my older sibling would do their very best to sabotage my relationship with my own child. I never knew my older sister was that fucking jealous of me. You know, because I used to look up to her. Out of all four of us, she was she was the first child to go to college. And then I followed behind her. Shortly after I started to pursue my dreams, right before I graduated high school, I had my first child. I was a teenage mom. Now, not only was my sister was jealous of me, she wanted to insert herself into my relationship with my daughter to use that as a test drive to see if she would make a good mother for her own children, which I think is really sick, right? And because I had boundaries, then the triangulation, narcissistic abuse and grooming and gaslighting and breadcrumbing and character attacks came full force. And I had to let her go. I had to let myself, it was very difficult, but I had to cut that cord because I could not see myself getting to the places I wanted to be and accomplishing the things I wanted to accomplish, trying to stay connected and have a relationship with her. I couldn't see it. And with the way she switched up on me, as soon as she met her first no good, dusty ass, narcissistic husband, as old folks say, she got the big head. And I said, so you're willing to disrespect your family, your siblings, you choose a man over, and not only a man, an abusive man over your homegirl, me, your little sis. And the tables turned so tough to where I was prophesying and predicting things that were going to happen before they happened, and she didn't believe it. And I could read him like a book. And then when it started to come into fruition, these horrible things, I was like, this is what you get for trying to curb me. There's nothing in my whole life that would make me choose a stranger over the people that are supposed to be my family and love me, yo. But then I had to rewind a little bit further and say, you know what? The apple don't fall far from the tree. Because my mother and her older siblings, who is also the baby like me, have the same toxic traits because she's the only girl and she ran away from home, in a sense, to marry my dad, to move out from underneath my grandfather's strict guidelines and house rules. And that was the tradition in our family. A lot of African American Episcopal people, the only way you leave the house is in a white dress or a pine box. Very strict. Indigenous cultural people who believed in, selective marriages and things like that. And it can turn out to be very toxic, very damaging. And you just have to know when to let some folks go. You can give them chance after chance after chance. And you watch your life deteriorate further and further and further and fall apart. You realize these people really don't want to see me go anywhere and do anything above their standard that they have set for me. They want to live vicariously through you, but they don't want you to be what God truly has designed you to be and discover who you really are and what you really have to offer this world. So let's have a peek at a little bit of this with Denzel. They'll feel what you felt, right? They thought it was fun until it happened to them. And we know what's up with this, okay? Let's go. Let's peek. Of course, it's going to be a commercial.
There's something about life that has a funny way of teaching lessons. Sometimes it whispers to you, gives you subtle signs. Other times it throws a brick through your window to get your attention. Those are the moments we're talking about today. They thought it was fun until it happened to them. Now, I want you to really think about that for a moment. Think about the people who laughed when you were down, who thought your struggles were some kind of entertainment. You know the type. They point fingers, make jokes, and act like they're sitting high and mighty, like nothing could ever touch them. But life? Oh, life has a way of flipping the script, doesn't it? You see, when people are standing on top of the mountain, they forget what it's like to be at the bottom. They forget the struggles, the sleepless nights, the prayers whispered into the darkness. They forget because they're too busy celebrating their wins and judging someone else's losses. But here's the truth about life: it's a great equalizer. It doesn't matter who you are, where you're from, how much money you have, or how powerful you think you are. At some point, life will humble you. At some point, the very thing you laughed at might come knocking at your door.
What makes you laugh can also make you cry. That's why I kind of snapped the other day on this alleged lawsuit or, pending lawsuit that Lucifer might be filing. This is why I get so irritated at people like Stormy, and Tiffany Hinder, the mayor of Dolton, Illinois, just outside of my hometown of Chicago. 6 degrees of separation, yo. And karma is the most ruthless bitch you will ever meet. When you think it's funny because somebody else is going through whatever it is and it's not you, be careful how you take pleasure in other people's pain. Be careful how you laugh at somebody's pain and devastation and struggles, because the exact same thing can boomerang and come back around and smack you in the back of the head. Okay? Be careful how you mock and poke fun at and take pleasure in someone else's despair simply because you might not like that person, or you dislike how they drew a boundary and did not allow you to freely disrespect them. That's what's really that's really what it's about. People do not like to be checked. People do not like to be corrected. People have a toxic trait of entitlement, where they feel they can say whatever, do whatever, behave however they feel like, as long as you are on the receiving end of it. They should be able to do as they please and treat you as they please. And the moment you put your foot down and say, no, ma'am, sir, we're not going to do that over here. Okay? Don't let your entitlement get your feelings hurt and your head rocked. Okay? People don't like boundaries. That's how you know you dealing with highly toxic and dangerous spirits. People are very jealous of the fact that you seem to not have the same problems or challenges they do. So that's another reason why they try to latch on to your energy, because they see you evolving. They see your peace manifesting into whatever it is you choose to create. And they're going to find every excuse and arrow and dagger to throw at you as a reason and excuse why you shouldn't pursue what that is you would like to do, because they are miserable and jealous. Okay? Tisha didn't have a problem laughing and giggling in her sleeve at Melody. Okay, now she getting put on blast. Guess what? It ain't so fucking funny no more, is it? You see what I'm saying? I had my mother call me recently and ask me to pray for one of her flying monkeys, who happens to be her golden child, my oldest brother. He's going through some serious health issues. I was like, okay, what are you telling me for? You sick them on me to make my life miserable, okay? To attack and try to assassinate my character and ruin my reputation because you are holding a grudge against me as a young girl for making a mistake and having a child before I was married. You tortured me with that. And now that I have silenced everybody and pushed them motherfuckers back into the bushes, you want me to pray for my abuser? Isn't that interesting?
Now, I'm not saying this to gloat. I'm not saying we should celebrate anyone's downfall. No, that's not what this is about. This is about understanding. This is about realizing that what you put out into the world has a way of coming back to you. It's about empathy, about compassion, about thinking twice before you point fingers. But let me tell you something, this lesson doesn't come easy. Oh no, it doesn't come easy at all. See, when you're on the receiving end of someone's ridicule, it hurts. It makes you question yourself, your worth, your choices. It makes you wonder why people take pleasure in your pain. And when you're the one who's laughing, it feels harmless. It feels like just a joke, just a little fun. But what happens when the tables turn? What happens when the very thing you mock becomes your reality? That's when the lesson hits hard. Let me tell you a story. There was a man who used to laugh at others for being broke. He'd make jokes about their clothes, their cars, their homes. He'd call them lazy, say they didn't work hard enough. He thought he was better than them because he had money in the bank. But then the economy shifted. His business took a hit. And before he knew it, he was the one struggling to make ends meet. And let me tell you, when he found himself in that position, he remembered every word he said about those people. Every joke, every insult. He felt it all coming back to him like a mirror reflecting his own arrogance. You see, life is one of the greatest teachers you'll ever have. It doesn't use a classroom, it doesn't hand out lesson plans, and it certainly doesn't give you a syllabus to study. Life teaches you in real time with real stakes. And empathy? Empathy is one of the most profound lessons it has to offer. But here's the catch, life doesn't always teach it the easy way. Sometimes empathy comes through quiet moments, through observing someone else's pain and realizing that could have been me. Other times it arrives through a harsh slap of reality.
That's what I mean by, do these people who say they love black women really love black women? Because the empathy is void from where I sit. When I hear other black people talk about black love and this is black so beautiful and I love my black people, but the minute one of us is suffering in any way, shape, or form, whether it's financially, spiritually, emotionally, whatever, I see people making jokes, laugh, kiki, ha ha, and the first thing they want to do is shame you, broke shame you. Oh, she must be broke. He must not have no money to have to be going through all this. Yeah, we all have jonesed on certain things. But do you really love black people when you see someone's truly struggling, truly crying out for help, and you sit back and watch them suffer in silence or put them on blast? Where's the empathy? You know, it just baffles my mind. To create a platform for people to come to display their reality, and then allow such egregious negligence and say you love black people, black women are the bomb, so forth and so on. We have millions of examples. But this is just a spin-off of that nonsense that I ran into about this so-called upcoming lawsuit that sparked and triggered me on how to let go. Certain things you just have to walk away from. You know? It's just not worth the struggle. And then it's like, how dare you come for me? And I came and I checked in, I clocked in. And now you want to punish me for my response to your disrespect? Unbelievable, y'all.
When life throws you into the very situation you once judged. That man I told you about, he laughed at others for struggling, mocked their hardships, and thought he was above it all. Until one day, life flipped the script. When his turn came to face struggle, it wasn't just humbling, it was devastating. He realized how quickly life could shift, how easily blessings could turn to burdens, and how deeply words could cut. He learned empathy the hard way, like so many of us do. But here's the question I keep asking myself: why does it have to take a fall for us to open our eyes? Why do we wait for life to humble us? Why do we wait until the storm hits our own house before we learn to value the roofs over others? Why can't we choose humility while we're standing strong? You see, humility isn't weakness. It's wisdom. It's recognizing that no one is invincible, no one is untouchable, and no one has the right to belittle someone else's journey.
Humility is also a sign of high emotional intelligence, knowing that your accomplishment, your victory, your survival, your healing, and moving away and evolution away from toxicity is bigger than you. Because without the direction and leadership of the masterful creator, you wouldn't be where you are now. You wouldn't have the success story you have. You wouldn't have the testimony that you have. That's why I just don't understand why so many people are so selfish and self-centered. They think that they're bigger than God. They created their purpose and not the other way around. But this is not a popular subject because nobody really wants that uncomfortable truth. People are not comfortable talking about and calling themselves out for being unempathetic, being narcissistic, being sociopathic, and being downright disgusting towards each other when they see another person trying to elevate and evolve. It takes a special person to celebrate someone else's victories and survival story. That tells me that you also understand exactly what that person went through. So you're not uncomfortable or self-conscious about openly applauding that person's hard work, sacrifice, and self-evaluation to be able to say, hey, I made it. This is how I survived. Let me share my testimony. I look at sometimes the low expectations that Black people have for each other in everyday life. It don't have to be on reality TV. It don't have to be. We expect each other to be below the bar of excellence in no matter what genre of life, profession, whatever. We never want to believe the true facts and the testimony of what's put out there. Just like, for example, when I was building my business in daycare and early childhood development, low expectations of my sister. She ain't got no daycare license. What? So you expect me to be subpar because I'm at the time working on something as a single mother, building my own portfolio of generational wealth, to put generational tradition, wealth, business, whatever, to put on the roster for my babies to have something to look forward to. So you expected me to turn out to be nothingness, to not have any goals or aspirations or dreams outside of being a single mother who is a welfare recipient. That's what you expected me to turn out to be. And instead of celebrating your literal sister, you demean and debate and disgrace her because you jealous. Because you don't have shit going on. You feel what I'm saying? How can these people say they love Black women, love Black people, want to see more Black excellence, and step away from the stereotypical hood boogery that we see every day, up and down, in and out, every platform? Everybody's tuning in to the toxicity, the narcissism. Nobody really wants to say, I don't think you really care about Black folk. Because nobody's tapping into and trying to capitalize off of healing. Because once you get healed from it, guess what? There's nothing left to capitalize on. It's time to move on to something else. That's the whole key. Is making money off the redundancy of being toxic. The same cycle over and over again. Just different people, different scenario, different combinations of it, but it's all boils down to be the same thing. Toxic. It's easy to capitalize off of that. All you gotta do is throw a rock in a pack of dogs and see which one of them respond, and there you go. Bingo. You got mayhem. Do we really love each other, y'all? Because we keep tuning into this shit. And the people that come forth to try to give the tools of healing, we want to shame, we want to spread rumors, we want to dox, we want to disrespect. Instead of taking, you know what? Let me try to follow and parlay that into something that I can work with so that I can move away from this sad, sorry cycle of toxicity and let some of these people go because they're just not serving me any purpose. It's a one-sided transaction. I'm feeding into the toxicity, but I'm not really getting nothing out of it. What's the payout at the end of the day?
It's easy though, isn't it? To judge from the outside looking in. It's easy to see someone's choices, their mistakes.
Good, Lady Pooh. Thanks for coming through.
That happened to me, but here's the truth. Unless you walked in their shoes, you have no idea what they're carrying. You don't know the weight on their shoulders, the battles in their mind. or the heartbreak in their chest. Judgment is comfortable. It's safe. It allows us to distance ourselves from the reality that life could change for us too. But empathy requires courage. It asks you to put yourself in someone else's shoes, to feel their pain, to understand their perspective. It asks you to see them not as a failure or a statistic, but as a human being doing the best they can with what they've got. And let me tell you something else, life doesn't just test you with struggles. No struggles are only half the story. Life tests you with success too. It tests you with blessings. It tests you with abundance. Because how you handle success says more about you than how you handle failure. When you're struggling, it's easy to stay grounded. It's easy to remember what it feels like to be at the bottom. But when you're thriving, when you've got more than enough, that's when your character truly comes to light. What do you do with your blessings? Do you use them as a tool to uplift others, to create opportunities, to make someone else's life a little brighter? Or do you use them as a pedestal to look down on those who have less? Because let me tell you, success can either build bridges or build walls. The choice is yours. And here's the irony of it all: the people who laugh the loudest, who mock the hardest, who think life's struggles are just entertainment, they're often the ones who crumble the hardest when life turns the tables. They can dish it out, but they can't take it. They can laugh at someone else's pain, but they can't handle even a fraction of it themselves. But you don't have to be like them. You don't have to let bitterness consume you. You don't have to stoop to their level. Because here's the thing about bitterness: it doesn't hurt them, it hurts you. It eats away at your peace, your joy, your soul. So what do you do instead? You rise above. You choose grace, you choose compassion. You choose to be better, not bitter. You choose to let your character shine, not because you want recognition, but because it's the right thing to do. Life is short, too short to waste on tearing others down. So the next time you find yourself tempted to judge, tempted to mock, tempted to laugh at someone else's pain, pause.
Pause. Okay? Take a pause and see, am I blessed enough to be able to uplift somebody else? If it's just one person, as long as I've touched one person and resonate with one person, I have done my job. I have accomplished my mission for the day. So tomorrow is a new day, and we're going to reach for 2 people. Like what's watching now, 2 people. I've done my job for today. Because if we can spread all kind of rumors and all kind of spiritual diseases and all kind of negativity and, oh, look what happened over here, we can turn that around and make it contagious to start to spread more love, more humility, more introspection, and more truth. Because you can't keep it real with nobody else unless you keep it real with yourself first. So this is a shout out to Growth Mindset. Y'all go over there and check it out. It's amazing content. Growth Mindset is mainly Denzel. Awesome, powerful, motivational channel. I listen to it often, especially when I can't sleep. And them demons get to whispering. I'm like, you know what? This such and such, and I'm going to go to, no, let me turn on this motivational channel right here and erase those negative thoughts, because bitterness ages you. Holding grudges makes you sick physically. That's the onset of medical illness and diseases of the body, is holding on to negativity. not forgiving, being unempathetic. Look at Betty. Look at messy Patty Betty. Look at her. Look at Kimmy. Like, me and Kimmy close to the same age. And look at her. And I'm not trying to be funny, yo. Look at her. If I showed you a picture of my sister, you wouldn't even believe that's my sister. You wouldn't believe it. And we're only 6 years apart. And you would think that was my mama. So we gotta truly do that spiritual surgery, everybody. And find the crack of sunshine so we can begin to heal as a people. Cause man, the stuff that I'm seeing here unfold amongst not just the political parties, entertainment industry, economic, all this is whoa. And I knew this is the times of revelation. So we got to get our mind right, get our heart posture right. Because at this juncture, love is all we really have left. Okay? So with that being said, I'm going to get out of here for right now. Go over to Growth Mindset. Check out that channel, y'all. Thank you for the 3 people that fell through. Thank you for the 6 likes. I appreciate it. If you feel like you want to bless the channel, there's my Cash App. No pressure, no heat, no judgment. But I'm just here to drop off this message. I'm just a messenger, okay? I'm just a messenger. I love a good little tea just like everybody else, but sometimes we got to take a break and a positive pivot away from the nonsense and get really cracking on that soul work that I'm here to help myself and others do. We got to keep it funky. We got to decompress. We can't keep feeding ourselves all of this drama and not take a step back and truly put it into perspective on how it is affecting our psyche. Okay? So I love you. Peace out for right now, y'all. Let me know what you think in the comments if you so choose to. And I'll be out for right now. Take it easy, everybody. One love.